at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Want something done? Gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I think this is gonna be another one of those funky joints. Hot soul, dance. If I was you and you were me, you won't be winning. If they want something better.
Welcome in. Happy Thursday. We got to be on our own. Bobby Brown getting it in there. You know, Bobby's birthday is next week, February 5th. He's an Aquarius. Yes, I remember that because I'm an OG New Edition fan. You are locked in to KBLA Talk 1580 with Jill Munroe, here for your entertainment news update. I hope that you are relaxed, chilling, and ready for a exciting conversation. We have a lot that we're going to get into tonight, including some trending topics and headlines. So, take a seat, relax. And if at any point, of course, you want to get in on this conversation, you can hit us up, 800-920-1580. We are also always in the YouTube chat. The YouTube chat is always full of conversation, full of opinions, and we love them, so hit us up there. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a health scare that Dwyane Wade recently went through. D. Wade announced that he recently lost 40% of his kidneys. So we're going to get into the details and have a little bit of a conversation about men's health. It's something that we talked about briefly the other night, but I think that I want to know, black men, why aren't you guys going to the doctor? We keep seeing these early deaths or situations happening with health in men that are relatively young, when you think about it, healthy, a lot of athletes. So we're just going to check in and have a conversation about that. We're also, of course, going to get into some trending topics, and we have a guest tonight. Tonight, we have one of the co-owners of Slayy Hair. It's a synthetic braiding brand. We're going to get into all of that, but Damon Haley is here. Their brand is going into Target on Sunday, so perfect time to have the conversation about their experience, the brand, and how you can continue to support. But before we get into all of that, I have to start the day off with, a couple of topics that we can't get fully into, but you need to be aware of. So Ava DuVernay, she's one of our favorite directors and producers. She is planning to adapt Malcolm Gladwell's book on the former mayor of Los Angeles, the first black mayor of Los Angeles, Tom Bradley, into a TV series. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Tom Bradley, he came into office, I believe, in 1973. He was the longest tenured mayor in Los Angeles history. And I believe he left office in the early 90s, maybe 93 or so. He was crucial to a lot of development here in Los Angeles, representing, of course, as a black man out in front. And she spoke about her desire to launch this series when she recently appeared on Malcolm Gladwell's new podcast, which he has with Blackish creator Kenya Barris. So that podcast is called The Usual Suspects with Kenya and Malcolm. And it's an interview series where they speak to the extraordinary individuals from entertainment, sports, business, and politics about their paths to success. Kind of like what you guys get here on KBLA with me. However, Ava said that, she's been tracking the book and she asked him point blank on the podcast to allow her to get the rights so that she can create this series. I think that it would be very interesting, especially the years when he was going to battle, so to speak, with the former chief of police here, Daryl Gates. That story in itself could be a series, just the back and forth, what they went through, and sort of how that all laid out, and also what it meant for a black man in politics in one of the largest cities in the United States to kind of set the tone and push that through. So I hope that it happens. I'd love to see it. I think Ava is an amazing person to come through and make that happen. So we'll look out for that. Also, listen, you guys know that Dr. Dre has finally spoken out with his thoughts on the Drake and Kendrick beef. He got on a podcast, and it actually was suspects, the same podcast, and he shared that he felt the diss went too far, that the moment that that Drake mentioned Kendrick's wife and kids, he said adios. And that's coming from Dr. Dre, one of the OGs of diss raps. Andy, you look like you got something to add.
You know, you being from the West Coast, I think, it's expected to kind of side with what Dr. Dre had to say. But I think Dr. Dre should have just
sat it out.
Don't even waste your time, because you could say the same thing about Kendrick calling Drake a pedophile.
I mean, you can. There are a lot of shots that are thrown. We should just leave it there. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into this Dwyane Wade story and talk with Damon Haley, co-owner of Slayy Hair. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked in with our, it's not RSVP anymore. It's Jill Munroe's Entertainment Update here on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are here with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Now, before we get into this Black men's health and Dwyane Wade and what he recently went through, all week we've been discussing influence, Tabitha Brown, DEI, Lip Bar, and some other brands that are being impacted by what we are calling essentially a DEI rollback. And so I mentioned the other night that I had friends that had a brand that would be dropping in Target starting in February. And so it only makes sense to speak with them and get their impression about all that is happening, find out more about their product and kind of how they got on this journey. So welcome to the show, Damon Haley, co-owner of Slayy Hair.
Hey, thanks, Jill.
You are welcome. And I should say, Damon co-owns Slayy Hair with his wife, Dwyane Valentine. And if you don't know who Dwyane Valentine is, why not? Dwyane is fantastic. She is like style epitomized. Dwyane puts together the most fabulous weddings and events for your A-list, top-tier individuals. She is a TV host. She helps you find love. She took Black women to Italy to find love, y'all. And they also own 2 beauty supplies, one in Inglewood, one in Hawthorne, Glow and Flow Beauty. So, you know, this topic hits on all areas. So, Damon, first of all, welcome to the show again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So talk to me about Slayy Hair, how it came to be, and sort of where you are as an entrepreneur in Los Angeles, and then we'll move over to the Target side in a second.
Well, our first, well, as you know, my wife is all that. She's fashion, she's beauty, and all that kind of good stuff. And so a couple years ago, she just said, why don't we build something for us? Because as you know, in a previous world, I did a lot of stuff around the world and with interesting people and interesting brands. You know, I'll throw out Coke,
I'll
Pepsi,
throw them out,
Nike.
Coke, Pepsi, Nike, HBO. My God, the list goes on and on and on.
Mr. Jordan, Mr. James, and the
Mr.
late and great Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Doing all that stuff and really selling shoes and apparel for Nike and beverages and all that. So she said, why don't you bring all of that and build something for us? And so we landed on beauty. And so our first foray into it was retail, because we just said, hey, let's make it about the product and not about us, not about our service, because obviously people demand her service and people demanded my service. And so we built Glow and Flow Beauty in Inglewood, and really she calls it a place where Black women feel at home. That's kind of our thinking around it. And so she dialed it up. And
from the names on the aisles, the men even have a section there that is labeled just for them. Mm-hmm. The decor, there are spots to take your selfies, let me just say, and all the products.
So she reinvented the shopping experience, because most of us don't get that experience in our own neighborhood, because we don't own enough businesses to get to know our people, enjoy our people, smile at our people, or super serve them. And so we don't have to go through all of that, but we know who owns in our community, and we just wanted to take a different position. And through that, we just saw that the biggest, I never noticed how many times women would pat their head, just patting, just fighting with their head. And so
that itch, if you ain't got a rat tail comb, baby.
There you go. And so Dwyane said, we came and we said, we're going to do a product that really, really changes the game and really changes things. And so when we start looking at the chemicals involved, we start just looking at synthetics, we said, we're going to do it better. And so we're going to look at the material, we're going to look at the process, and we're going to look at the brand behind it. So it's Slay with 3 Ys. The tagline is always slay your crown. And we know Holly Mitchell in terms of the Crown Act and what that means. And so we went, Dwyane, I'll give it to her, for a year. She researched and did the chemical and the processing and all that kind of stuff to make sure that we delivered on our promise. No itch, soft, shinier, all that kind of stuff. So that's how Slayy was born, and it was launched on July 2020. 2023, July 1st, 2023. That's Slayy Day. And so within 3 months, we got the call from TJ Maxx. And so it was a call out of the blue. I mean, we didn't even pitch it at that point. We were striving to get it into Black-owned independents, Caribbean-owned independent, African-owned independent beauty supplies across the country. It was received with mixed reviews, so to speak, and not even reviews of the product, but just intaking a new product that wasn't Korean made, to be honest. And so when we got the TJ Maxx call, we were like, great. And so we've been in TJ Maxx since 2023, fourth quarter of 2023. We did a 6-pack for them. So it's not a single pack, it's a 6-pack. They wanted some exclusivity on that SKU right there. It's been a great relationship. We're launching ponytails with them as well, using our secret Slayy sauce because they love it. When you touch it and feel the difference, they love it. And around April, March or April is when we started talking to Target and Walmart about distribution.
So let me ask you this. When you got the call from Target or when you started working with them, do you think that that relationship came together because you were a good brand or because you were a Black brand?
I thought it was that we were a great brand. Our packaging and the way that we express who and what we are and who we're for is very, very different than any other product in the marketplace. And I thought that we impressed them in terms of being good business partners.
So has there been any communication since all of this conversation has come up over the past couple of weeks?
Yes. So we did get some messaging from our vertical, which is a buyer in the textured hair space. And she assured us that nothing has changed in terms of our terms. Nothing has changed in terms of the support we'll get. And let's just keep, moving forward to a great February launch. So we're going to be in 200 stores on Sunday. And then in May, we're working to get into 500 stores to eventually get into 1,000. That's the forecast.
So what has been your response to all of sort of the conversation and how it impacts the business owners that are there, that are, getting this exposure through these various retail?
Well, it's a lot of chatter on social media because I learned over the last week, Target really, really means a lot to Black women. Really, really has a great relationship to Black women. With Black women. Going
shopping at Target is an experience that everyone talks about.
Target.
Yeah,
Target. Yeah. And more, I just didn't know as much as I knew 2 weeks ago. I knew it, but now I'm certain because there's a lot of other companies that talked about the rollback, but you don't hear about them. Toyota, Ford, Amazon, Meta. You don't hear anything about that in terms of the outcry. So that's the first thing. Secondly, in terms of the 35 to 40 brands, I think that's other Black-owned brands, founders. These are brands, they're founders, they're businesses. We are people. And if we don't get support, our businesses go away. Because some of them are Target exclusive. Now, if you're, I heard from Tabitha, I heard from Melissa with the lip bar. I thought and Diane, of course, came out and said some things that mirrored what those other ladies said. They can say, hey, feel free to shop where you want to shop, but know that you are hurting us. So I can't tell you how nervous I was to know that I'm launching, how happy I was first to be launching February 2nd, Black History Month, all that kind of stuff, and all the roll-up that we were doing, thinking that we would get brand amplification from being in Target because of the relationship. Hey, Target, you quote unquote, you've arrived, even though we in other great places. But yeah, it's very simple. If we don't sell, we out of there. And so if there's a boycott, we're just collateral damage, so to speak. The Black brands are collateral damage because I think they buy us in because they think we're going to attract a Black consumer. I know that. That's why they buy us in. Or I would say Black and brown consumer, somebody who got curly hair and got melanin. those are the products that's in there. And beauty and essentials are top one or two at Target.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. We have some comments in the chat and we have a call on the line. So in the chat, HW says, interesting story. Sad to hear that they weren't interested in black made products. I wonder how that is overcome. Easy to say we should buy black, but if black store owners aren't interested in stocking black, what is the answer? And HW added, buying black where you can seems to be a more realistic option. So it's true, we have to figure out a different playbook because necessarily what we did before may not be working in the same fashion, so to speak. Forrest from Compton is on the line. Let's hear what you have to say. Good evening, Forrest. Thanks for checking in with us.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Amazing.
Hey, Forrest.
All right, that's good. Hey, how you doing, man? I called to co-sign your store. I live in in Compton, but I come all the way to Inglewood to go to your store. You right there next to what's the coffee spot?
Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks. And my daughter, she started taking me over there when she was in high school. She's in college now. I just dropped her off at the dorms, but every time she wanted to get something for her hair, that's where we go. And yeah, they definitely are, you guys approach the customers all the time and ask questions and have conversation. So.
Oh, we love to hear that. Look at that.
Appreciate you, Forrest. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Next time I come in there, which will probably be next week.
You tell them to call me, and I got a surprise for you and them.
Okay, for sure.
So, yeah, make sure, Damon Haley, make sure you tell them that Damon Haley said to call when you came in there, and he's going to take care of you.
That's right.
All right. I got it.
Thank you for checking in for us. We appreciate you as always.
Call me DH, baby.
All right, DH, man. Force.
All right, Force. All right.
Thanks for that. Andy, you look like you had something to say. No, you lost it. You over it?
No, I was just going to say, was it the spot over there by Popeyes?
It is. So too. All right. Look, check that out. So,
and I should say, we have another location in Hawthorne.
Yes,
we just opened it up, and it's beautiful. Diane calls it the Fantasy Fun Factory. So it is great. We got a champagne bar in there, a beauty bar, and we have a collaborative space if you want to meet and do some princess parties or some girls' night out stuff.
So kind of going back to this, as you obviously working towards a brand, building something up and putting out a physical product, especially one that has to have research because there's health things and so forth. How do you, and I know it's shop where you want, but please support us, right? How do you talk to the people that, want to love Slayy or go about it, but are conflicted because they feel that these entities might not be having our best interests? Like, if I get into your brand at Target, is it going to go away behind all of this? That's some of the concerns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that, and I can feel the concerns in terms of what I've read and what I've heard. But like with any relationship, you got to keep in mind, we have a new administration that is saying, hey, we're not doing DEI. So you have these states and you have different political folks that are kind of saying the same thing and following the lead. Not too long ago, it was a thing called affirmative action. And affirmative action technically went away, but it's still in the mix. And so with this, it's really coming to the table. If in any relationship, before you step away, you got to come to the table and say, let's talk about this. So that's the thing that I haven't heard a lot of. Just like not run, let's hey, talk to somebody at Target, talk to your local manager, or get a regional person out to say, hey, what does this mean? That kind of thing. So I think that's one thing we should just, take a deep breath and relax and see not what's going to happen, but take some action to talk to somebody, for one. And two, I think if our products sell, and if any products sell, they're going to continue to keep them. It's really, really that simple. So let's keep in mind that we're just talking about 30 or 40 businesses, primarily in the beauty and essentials, but that just takes up 5%, 10% of the entire Target footprint. You know, there's groceries, there's clothes, there's all of this other stuff that we go to Target for, and those people might be particularly women, because DEI, 70% of DEI dollars go to white women. You know, you look at the statistic, they go there. So, and I don't see white women saying the same thing, you know. And so I think, once again, it's figuring out all these 8 groups and saying, how are we all affected? You know, there's a lot of other things we can do other than shutting down. But I know we're accustomed to that because we're hurt, you know, by it. So I want to be respectful, sympathetic, empathetic, that people are hurt and don't want to go in there, you know. And so for me, it's funny because, like, okay, where are you going to go? Well, you're going to go back to an independent beauty supply that we don't even own. And then you go to a community, of people that we know decades we've had a tough time with, you know.
I mean, that is the question. Listen, when we come forward, we'll have more with Damon Haley. We will get into this D. Wade story and talk about Black men's health, plus more trending topics and headlines, all of that and more on the other side. You're locked in to KBLA Talk 1580. News, traffic, and sports is up next.
Now I guess we're gonna have to take control. If it's up to us, we've got to take it home.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know with BIN News. Federal officials have yet to recover the black boxes from the D.C. midair crash that likely killed 67 people. National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy assured they will be found and briefed President Trump. A report is expected within a month. Stocks are closing higher after a rough day on Wall Street. Investors were reacting to several earnings reports, including those from Meta Platforms, Tesla, and Microsoft. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams is reappearing after a health scare, attending events Thursday but giving no details on his condition. Dismissing resignation rumors as, quote, stupid, end quote, he also pushed back against claims of being anti-immigrant. And McDonald's is partnering with Angel Reese for its first ever female athlete meal. The Angel Reese special, featuring a barbecue bacon quarter pounder, fries, and a drink, launches February 10th. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
It's a crash in Pasadena. This is the 134 making your way eastbound coming up on Orange Grove. That wreck was blocking the carpool and the left lanes. They're trying to get everything cleared, but overall slowing, backing up from Pass Avenue. It's awful. Now, another crash is really slowing down the drive. Culver City, 405 southbound before the 90. Carpool lanes blocked. Big delays out of the Sepulveda Pass getting away from Getty Center. And then surface streets in that area are pretty busy as people are making their way to the Kia Forum and the Intuit Dome for fire aid.
If you were self-employed or a 1099 contractor and missed work because you had COVID or cared for an immediate family member with COVID in 2021, you may qualify for up to $32,000 for the Sick and Family Leave Credit. Visit taxcreditnow.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Two significant streaks are on the line for the USC women's basketball team when they host Minnesota tonight at the Galen Center. USC, ranked 4th in the country, has won 14 straight games and 8 straight at home. 7 p.m. tip-off tonight. If you're streaming at home, you can catch the game live on the Peacock channel. Congratulations to UCLA legend Reggie Miller. Miller was chosen by NBC to be the network's #1 NBA analyst. NBC will start broadcasting NBA games next season. Alumni of Howard University and Florida A&M, here's a date you should circle on your calendar. Saturday, August 30th. That's the date the football teams at Howard and Florida A&M will meet up in the Orange Blossom Classic at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The popular HBCU schools finalized negotiations today to play in one of the top showcase games for HBCU football. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you a recent college graduate with a dream of getting a high-paying job in sales? A job where you can grow a lucrative career in multi-platform audio, digital, podcast, social media, and local events, along with world-class training and career growth opportunities. KBLA Talk 1580, located in historic Leimert Park, is currently hiring entry-level account executives for outside sales. Join a team featuring radio hosts Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, Dr. Nee Cordelai Corte, Zoe Williams, and our very own Dominique DePrima. For more information on attending our upcoming career fair, contact SMB at KBLA1580.com today.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Brandy, Dog Child, Mace Kid, Harlem on the rise. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I went from Helly Hansons to mini mansions. The girls in the Aruba doing belly dancing. Spent half of my advancing, jars from Branson to make it through my circumstances. But you know I'm wiser now, move like Kaiser now. Got a butter soft leather just to hide my pound. Got a house in the valley, come and find me now. Got enough dough to buy the town, so I might give a 6 to my chick, Benz to my mom's. Crib so big it look like the Synagogue. Give her a couch just to spill Henny on. And been a don since Lotto's and Benetton. Come on.
Welcome back in. You are locked into KBLA Talk 1580 here with Jill Munroe giving you your entertainment update. Shout out to Brandy. Her birthday is coming up February 11th. She's also getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame that day. So big ups for that. You know, our Black Cinderella legendary. So before we get back to Damon Haley and this Target topic, I wanted to talk about Dwyane Wade because at 43 years old, D. Wade recently revealed that he went through a health scare. It happened about 2 years ago. He said December of 2023, his father was having some issues, some health issues, and so he decided he wanted to get more serious about his health. At this point in time, he had been retired for a bit. And you know, when you're in professional sports, you have to get a physical every year. It's part of how you get your money. It's how they make their money. But once you retire, that's not there. That system is not in place for you. So he said he got a little lax. And whatever was going on with his dad, he said, I want to take my health more seriously. And he said he was having some stomach issues, cramping, and he noticed that he was having a slower than normal urine stream. So he went to the doctor. He ended up having a full body scan. His father had dealt with prostate cancer. So that's why he wanted the full body scan, just to make sure that everything was okay. He was not expecting them to come back and reveal that he had a tumor. He said the doctor was like, you need to have kidney surgery. And he revealed that he decided to move forward with the surgery after he double-checked the diagnosis with multiple doctors. Please always do that. Get a second opinion. Not because your doctor's wrong, not because they're telling you anything wrong, just because you want to make sure that you touch on all the things that are out there, especially the way insurance is set up nowadays. Check. That's aside. But he said that the surgeons had to remove 40% of his right kidney to prevent the cancer from spreading, and that it was the weakest moment in his life. He said that for his own journey to have surgery, coming from being a top athlete, did Dwyane win an MVP? No. He won a finals MVP, not the actual MVP, but just Olympian, all of the things to have to go through that. He said that he felt weak, and he said his first thoughts were for his family, his dad, his kids. And he said that for them to see him like this was the weakest moment in his life. And he said what he saw in the midst of going through his illness, he saw his family, who may not always talk to each other, may not always agree, show up and be there for him. And that's how he found strength. And so, it was something small, someone else. And I just think that though we talk about it, it is so important to get that physical, take that test, find out what's going on and protect your health, because early detection could be the difference between something relatively minute, small to take care of, small changes, and something that can cost you a great deal more. And we talked about mental health for men, and this applies to us women too. But right now we're talking to the men. We could do that. But I think it's important that we speak out about this and we talk about these things, and we continue to let people know that it is important to recognize early signs, to look for them, and to take care of your health. Don't be out there eating Doritos. No, I shouldn't say that. I should not name anything specifically.
Don't name them.
I'm not doing that, because I love all that stuff too. But in moderation, that's the key. In moderation. Andy's like throwing his hands up to me like, make sure you say in moderation. But I'm just saying, pull it back together. There's still comments going in the chat. Pretty Brown Mimi asks, I want to support Black-owned businesses in Target, but I'm concerned that the brands might be being pulled away, which of course is a valid concern, but not just because of this. The brands could be pulled out really for anything if they're not moving in the way that you expect. If those sales are low, they're going to clear that shelf space for someone else. So,
well, I can speak to that.
Okay.
Mimi, right?
Yes.
So, it's really about business. And believe me, I get to look. I was looking at it today. I can get reports every day in terms of which store and which product is moving. And so they see it too. So there's a lot of AI, a lot of calculations. If you are selling at 95%, and they're due every Sunday, I wake up to see if I got an order. I haven't even launched yet and got another order.
Okay. How has AI impacted your business?
It allows me to process information quicker. It allows me to be a better data analytics person in terms of setting up all the inventory and all that kind of stuff and seeing what's selling and what isn't and where it is. So all of that AI is compacted into apps and things like that. So there's at least 6 or 7 apps that I need to know on the back end of big box retailers.
So is that something that you incorporated before you got involved with big box retailers? Because I think people also don't recognize that in order to go out to the masses, there's an upfront cost of beyond operational costs. Operational costs in addition to whatever the inventory is and putting that together. So
yeah, I think when I've had probably 1, 2, 3 software updates in 5 years in my beauty businesses because it's just getting better. The apps are getting better. It allows me to really look at stuff on my phone now. So
that you don't have to be physically present, you can move around a little bit.
Well, I didn't need a pad, right? I don't need a laptop or whatever. Now It's just like at the end of every day, I know what sold in my store. What are the hot sellers? And every day it was braid hair. And so obviously I said, can we make it better? Can we do it better? That kind of thing. So I think that Mimi, you should be afraid, but only if it's not moving. And they, big box retailers do a lot of research. They do a lot of investigation. They do a lot to get you on the shelves. That's how I felt. So when you say, well, we are DEI pick, nah, we are the second synthetic hair brand in Target and potentially soon to be Walmart. We were the first in TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and we'll be the first in Australia, Europe, and Canada for TJ Maxx by the end of the year. So they're seeing that, hey, people need this, and don't think it's just braid hair. It's pre-stretched straight hair. So you can do ponytails, etc. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons why it is attractive across the pond, across the Atlantic, is because we were able to demonstrate what we do with honey blonde, or marmalade, spice, our different colors that aren't black and brown. So it's really used across the board. And like I said, we got the ponytails coming, which are curly, wavy, and straight.
And I'm going to be a ponytail ambassador
because
I love my ponytail.
Like your ponytails.
When we come forward, we're going to have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in to KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is Taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back into KBLA Talk 1580. We were talking about Dwyane Wade and his recent cancer diagnosis and the surgery that he followed up. Damon, did you work with D. Wade any when he was with Converse and all that?
Yeah, actually, I worked with him on a Nickelodeon project, actually. And oddly enough, he was the first person to tell me that LeBron was going to Miami.
Okay.
We were doing something on that day, and he said, hey, big man, we got to switch this around. And I said, well, why? And he was like, my man's coming, and ESPN is going to come, and I need you to help set up the whole thing and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you mean the man, the king, And so, yeah, he was the first person, and we switched some stuff around in ESPN because on that day they had him, I forgot, Chris Bosh and LeBron on one thing, but D. Wade was at a function down in Miami, and we were working with him. So real nice guy. Came in contact with him through his wife too, Gabrielle Union. Diane kind of knows her a little, not a lot, but a little bit. Real nice dude, and just surprised that he would think that it's a weak point just because it's a bump in the road. It just shows that he's been so thinking he's Superman and vulnerable and impenetrable. But hey, if you live long enough, you're going to get sick, And so when you're sick, it's cool. It means you're human. So, but I'm glad that he found strength in his family and all that kind of stuff. So that's a good thing. I would say, too, I'm of the age where, I have to look a little bit more into my health. I always tell the grandkids, I had my turn at potato chips. Now it's your turn.
Okay.
Cookies. And I've had my turn at it, but now I can't really mess with it, as much. But I would say there's some other things that as a black man we can do to help our health. So I know sometimes it's kind of tough getting to the doctor, but during COVID, I was getting my blood work tested and my antibody levels tested every 3 months. And you can go to Quest Diagnostics, you order the test and all of that. So at least they give you kind of a green light, red light. They let you know the boundaries, that kind of stuff. So you do urine, you can do the fishy stick, whatever,
okay.
That
to
thing.
check every. I mean, yeah.
I mean, because that's what my, I've done the I forgot the booty pipe or what they call it. I've done that. And
the urethra or whatever when they,
Yeah, I've done all of that. But what
prostate.
The prostate, yeah. But what I do every 6 months is I make sure if I'm not seeing my doctor, I get the blood, urine, and then the doodle stick, right? And so that gives my doctor, and then I might not talk to my doctor because I get the results, and I get the results. If it's all green, it's cool. If it's red, which usually my sugar level's high because I like sweets,
right?
So I know that, and he'll just say, "Hey, we're gonna check this in 3 months," and then I just stop eating sweets, drink water, and then it tests out cool, and then we keep it moving, because then it's controllable. If you can't control it despite what you do, then you medicate or got a problem or whatever. But I would say the easiest thing is the blood work, the urine. And like I said, and the whatever they call it, the doodle stick or whatever, to make sure you don't have any of that working.
For colon, right?
The colon stuff
test,
and all that, yeah. Because it's all down there,
All the things that we go through.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts. on this situation besides hit Target on Sunday, Slayy with 3 Ys, the website, Glow and Flow Beauty in Inglewood and Hawthorne. But what would you like to see? Because when I was saying the other night is that I feel one of the things is that in this time period, there's no central leadership or group. That was the case, in the 60s when we were dealing with the civil rights group. Although there were several, there seemed to be one sort of focus or a couple ideologies where they moved together and the plan was going, step by step, and people bought in for the most part. Now, there's so many different ways that people can add their voices. I think it's hard to wrangle groups in the same way that it was before. Someone said in the chat, HW, I believe it was, buying black where you can seems to be a more realistic option. And we talked a little bit about that. Talk to me about, we mentioned numbers, but mentioning numbers again, because I think people don't really have a clear concept of how business works and what gets us further. So talk a little bit about buying black where you can as a form of protest.
Yeah, I think that it's not even protest. It just makes sense because we know there are other communities out there that only buy from their people, period. I mean, it's harder for us to do because we don't own means per se, but in this beauty and essential space, we've been able to solve our own problems, knowing that there's certain toxins and things like that, you hear the stuff on relaxers and all that kind of stuff. But we have a way now, we're evolving where, there's 30,000 types of shea butter out there, right? So we are evolving because really women are figuring out ways to take care of their kids, and they're figuring out ways to grow their hair and nourish their hair and moisturize and style and all that kind of stuff. So I think one, like HW said, buy black, believe in us, because we are closer to making our situation, our collective community situation better than anyone else. So I would say go out of your way to buy black because it means something. That's a black family. Black families tend to hire black people just like everybody else, every other community out there. So you really can't go wrong. We consume a lot. We the ninth largest spending entity, Black Americans, on the planet. We spend more than Greece. Where we vacation to, right? We spend
Santorini.
We spend more money on at least 50 countries out there that are making it their own. But we just don't spend with ourselves. Because when we start spending with ourselves, we'll start manufacturing more. We'll start doing, think about it. I'm a guy, the number one question I get, people say, how you do it because the Korean shuts you out. Well, no, they're being competitive business people at this point. There are other ways. Do I have relationships in New Jersey, Atlanta, Chicago to get my stuff in directly with manufacturers? Well, of course I do, and so you bet on black, you support your community. That's the first thing. In terms of other businesses that you want to have a relationship with, you have to talk to them. I'm not sure that boycotting, if we have to, great, but let's figure it out. Talk to a store manager, get a regional person, say, hey, let's rally this thing up. Like in LA, if we believe in that, get the regional director down here. Somebody got to talk to us. You remember when the crack years happened?
Yeah.
They sent people to the hood, the FBI, all that. Boom. So yep. I think those are two things that I would say, and let's really think strategically about how we're going to do it, because you're right. There's no one place we can assemble and go, and really, we poking at it, but we ain't punching it. We poking with the individual fingers, but we not really balling our fist on this thing and really delivering. And that's why, hey, in a month, are we going to go back to doing what we're going to do? Because we're going to have to fight some different stuff.
Yeah, definitely going to be some different battles.
It's going to be a lot of battles, and this is just the first. It's just the first week of the fight.
Well, listen, I am getting requests from the address again, or the location again of the two Glow and Flow Beauties, and the website and socials for Slayy Hair. So
Cool.
if you could give that to us.
Absolutely. Glow and Flow Beauty in Inglewood is located at 933 North La Brea Avenue. It's near the intersection of Centinela and La Brea. We share the plaza with Starbucks, Popeyes, Subway, Planned Parenthood, and I think there's a Domino's there as well. In Hawthorne, Glow and Flow Hawthorne is at 4361 Rosecrans Avenue. It's near the intersection of Rosecrans and Hawthorne. We share the space with Dunkin' Donuts. It's right across from the Lawndale Plaza, where there is a big Target there. Our website address is www.glow, Glow, and flow, FLOW, beauty.com. glowandflowbeauty.com, and Slayy, you can buy it online as well, or you can buy it at various locations that's on the website. The website is www.Slayy Hair, and that's Slayy with 3 Y's, SLAYYY hair.com. And you can get Slayy in abundance at both of our Glow and Flow locations, and we also are in about 20 independent locations across the country, and about 3 or 4 here in Los Angeles.
Well,
and 200 Targets across the country, as well as
February
at TJ.
2nd.
But we're already in TJ Maxx, and the 6-pack is in TJ Maxx and Marshalls already.
Well, Damon,
and I would say shout out to TJ Maxx and Marshalls. We're diversifying our portfolio of distribution. So you got TJ Maxx, we going with Target, and hopefully Walmart soon.
So they'll be able to get you everywhere.
Everywhere,
across the country,
why not?
No excuse.
And let me share just one more thing. With
Quickly, because we got 30 seconds.
With the black distribution, there are companies that there's 1,900 Target stores. Where else can we have a relationship where we can be in 1,900 stores? So if we don't go to 1 or 2, it might mess up the whole distribution and make the whole thing fall down.
Amazing. Well, I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for giving your insight on D. Wade. Thank you for clearing up some of the mystery behind what it's like working with Target as a Black-owned brand. Go out and support Slayy, everybody. Thank you guys for locking in every Monday through Friday here on KBLA Talk 1580. Make sure that you are locked in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Up next, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Have a good night, y'all.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. A preliminary FAA report reveals that staffing at the air traffic control tower was not normal during the mid-air collision near Reagan National Airport. Multiple media reports cite a source saying staffing was not normal for the amount of air traffic and the